Since 2014, when the NCAA lifted their restrictions on student-athlete feeding, Division I athletic programs have been allowed to provide meals and snacks for their athletes. One of the ways that athletic programs started providing snacks was by using a fueling station, which is a location on campus where student-athletes are provided with free snacks and is usually overseen by a sports dietitian. This study aimed to contribute to the body of sports nutrition literature by collecting, analyzing, and organizing the average caloric content, macronutrient content, and sodium content of the snacks selected at a free fueling station at an NCAA Division I school in California. Throughout the school year, data on snack selections were continuously collected and stored online whenever the athletes used the fueling station. This study then analyzed all the snacks selected during a 2-week period and determined the nutritional content of those snacks. Then the participants were organized and compared by gender as well as by sport group, which was assigned based on the energy system used by their sport team. The PCR group included golf, baseball, and softball. The PCR AG group included basketball, volleyball, tennis, track and field, and water polo, and the PCR AG OP group included soccer and cross country. A variety of statistical tests were run to determine if statistical differences were found. Now let's look at the results. It was found that male participants chose snacks with significantly more calories, carbohydrates, and protein than the female participants. When looking at the frequency of accessing the fueling station, a significant difference was found between the mean number of days accessed the fueling station between sport group. The PCR AG group accessed the fueling station significantly more than the other two groups. However, no significant difference was found between the mean number of days accessed the fueling station between genders. Statistically significant differences were found in the snack content among the different sports groups. The PCR AG group was found to select snacks with more calories and carbohydrates than the other two groups. The PCR AG OP group was found to select snacks with less protein than the other two groups. The PCR AG group was found to select snacks with more fat and sodium than just the PCR group. When comparing snack content to recommendations, it was found that the average snack carbohydrate content was only about 50 grams, which was found to be significantly less carbohydrates than recommended. However, the average protein content was about 16 grams, which did meet the protein recommendations. As expected, only 27% of the athletes selected snacks containing at least 60 grams of carbohydrates, but even though the average protein content was 16 grams, only about 50% of athletes selected snacks with at least 15 grams of protein. The popularity of snacks was also reported on, as you can see in Figure 7. Now we will move on to the discussion. These findings suggested that athletes' snack selections did not contain adequate carbohydrates for optimal recovery, and that gender and sport group impacted snack nutrient content, as well as sport group impacting the frequency of accessing the fueling station. These findings have practical importance for sports dietitians, because this information can suggest that a sports dietitian should focus on the importance of carbohydrates for recovery and provide athletes with clear examples of snack combinations that contain the amount of carbohydrate that's necessary to promote glycogen replenishment. This information can also be beneficial for future fueling stations, because this information can provide insight into which snack options were popular and valuable to include in the fueling stations. To be able to draw more complete conclusions, it is recommended that future research were to include a more holistic view of the athlete's dietary habits and the influences to their snack choices. If you would like, please review my acknowledgments and my references. Thank you for listening to this poster presentation by Elle Teitelbaum.